In order to best organize the information you learn from a source, it helps to use index cards to take notes. So now let's look at how each index card should be set up. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to put the source number. You have to include 3 different sources in your research essay. You should number each source in your planning handout and note the number of the source you are taking information from on the index card. So if you are reading and taking notes from the source you labeled number 1 in the handout, you should write 1 on the index card. Then you have the topic. As you read information from the source, you should be thinking about what part of the research question this information answers. For example, if my research question is, "What books are censored today?" I notice that a lot of information from a source is focused on young adult books, so I use the topic young adult books and write that on the index card. Then you're going to have paraphrased information from the source. As you read, you will think about the main ideas in the source related to the topic. You will write these main ideas in your own words on the index card and note the page number or paragraph number where the information is found in the text. Notice they used the paragraph numbers here. Then you're going to have direct quotations from sources. As you read, you should look for at least one direct quotation from the source related to the topic. This quotation should be an important phrase or sentence that is important to use exactly as it is written in the source, and it would lose some of its meaning if you paraphrased it. So if you look at the direct quotation, you have, "The campaign says that more than 11,300 books have been challenged since the first banned books week." Now we're going to look at the article this index card takes notes from. The article is an article from the Los Angeles Times, the 10 most banned and challenged young adult books this year. Sherman and Alexie's award-winning book, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, was one of the most banned and challenged young adult novels of 2014. This article is by Michael Schaub. Toni Morrison, Sherman Alexie, Lois Lowry, Sandra Cisneros. The names sound like they could be entries on a list of America's greatest writers, but they have something different in common. They're all authors of some of the most frequently challenged or banned young adult novels in America. This is Banned Books Week, which this year focuses on young adult fiction. The ALA released a list of the 10 most frequently challenged young adult books over the last year, and the titles will be familiar to anyone who pays attention to book challenges in America's schools and libraries. Taking the number 1 spot is Alexie's The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, a perennial favorite of would-be censors. It's followed by Marjane Satrapi's Persepolis and Morrison's The Bluest Eye. The list was drawn from data collected by the American Library Association, one of Banned Books Week's 8 sponsors. An Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian and Persepolis also topped the list of the most challenged or banned books of 2014. Alexie's book has been challenged for multiple reasons, including sexual content, profanity, gambling, and depictions of bullying. Satrapi's book came under fire for similar reasons, with one complaint calling the book politically, racially, and socially offensive. The Bluest Eye, Morrison's debut novel, was challenged because of its sexual content. The novel is about a young girl who is raped by her father. Banned Books Week started in 1982 and is now observed by libraries, schools, and bookstores across the country. The campaign says that more than 11,300 books have been challenged since the first Banned Books Week. The list of the 10 most challenged young adult novels from 2014-2015 follows. Number 1, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. Persepolis by Marjan Satrapi. Number 3, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Number 4, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Number 5, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Number 6, Drama by Raina Telgemeier. Number 7, Chinese Handcuffs by Chris Crutcher. Number 8, The Giver by Lois Lowry. Number 9, The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. And number 10, Looking for Alaska by John Green. And so that is the article. So now let's look at how to paraphrase main ideas related to young adult books using the information from the article. As you paraphrase, you want to make sure, let's look at our example of our paraphrase. You want to make sure that you identify the main ideas in the text and that you rewrite the main ideas in your own words. Notice these aren't even complete sentences that are the paraphrases. It just jots down the main parts. Now, to write a direct quotation, you would need to use a direct quotation where there's an important main idea that you cannot rewrite in your own words. Now, I want you to read one of your sources and start taking notes using index cards. Now we're going to look at an MLA citation resource to create a works cited citation for one of your sources. You'll be writing the citation in your research planning handout. But now let's look at the citation resource. This is the citation resource. It's called EasyBib. We're going to create citations. So we're going to click on Create Citations. And we're going to look at a newspaper article. Let's see if we can find an online newspaper article. I don't think we're going to be able to. But we're going to use a newspaper article, and we're going to go back to our article that we looked at, which is entitled The 10 Most Banned and Challenged Young Adult Books This Year. So I'm actually going to try to copy paste that. There's no shame in this game. So I'm going to paste it right there. And we do want to correct our capitalizations throughout this article. So we're going to capitalize the important words. Sometimes newspapers don't do this just to make it aesthetically pleasing. Now, the author of this article, remember we saw that earlier, is Michael Schaub. So we're going to type in his first name, Michael, and then his last name, Schaub. And then the newspaper title is the Los Angeles Times. And then let's see if we can find the edition and the section. I don't think we can. All we have is the date, September 28th, 2015. So we're going to put the 28th of September. And then 2015. And they actually don't give us the pages, so we're going to have to look at paragraphs. So we're going to complete our citation. And then it already gave us MLA citation format, but if it didn't, we can go ahead and go to change style and change it to MLA format. So we would copy our citation and then paste it onto the research planning handout. And so now what I want you to do is I want you to choose one of your sources, preferably your source 1, and make your citation. So now you're going to continue reading your sources and taking notes using index cards. You will continue using the MLA citation resource to create a citation for each source you read. I'm going to give you about 15 minutes to do so. And then we're going to talk about what you're going to do for homework. For homework, you're going to finish reading and taking notes on index cards for at least 3 sources. You will have access to this video through Nearpod. I'm going to go ahead and probably go ahead and post this video link just for this part so you can know how to go through the process of creating the index card. You're going to need to do it for 3 sources. You will need access to your sources, your research planning handout, and your index cards. Then you'll finish creating a citation for each source. You'll need access to the MLA citation resource for this. And you'll need your research planning handout. Congratulations! You have completed Lesson 38 of the Fahrenheit 451 unit. In this lesson, you reviewed how to take notes from sources to answer a research question. You also practiced citing sources.